Welcome back to this show. It's always a pleasure to catch up.
So this is what happened.
Hang on.
We're talking to our next guest, and Fiona says, you know, I haven't had a chance to go and check out the Whitecaps.
At the new BC Place.
At BC Place. And our guest says, anytime you need tickets, I'm a season ticket holder. I paid for them, and apparently I didn't have to. Bob Lenarduzzi.
I said it's a sampling.
Right, just to get it right.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
First one's free.
Right.
Bob Lenarduzzi has a book out, A Canadian Soccer Story. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Nice to see
How
you.
weird is it to have an autobiography out? Is it
It is
odd?
weird. Yes, it is weird. But fortunately, the gentleman that is partnering with me on the book, Jim Taylor, made it a lot easier to get through.
How did this whole thing get started? I mean, obviously, did the publisher approach you, or did you and Jim start having conversations?
Actually, it goes way back. I don't know if you remember Dan Stinson, who wrote for the Vancouver Sun. He was the beat writer for the Whitecaps from 1974 till just recently, a couple of years back. He had actually asked me about the idea of doing a book and just never got around to it. Steve Ewan, more recently, we talked about it and actually got underway, and then just struggling for time, and that's when Jim came into the equation, and Steve was very gracious and said, no, you guys get on with it.
Now, working with Jim Taylor, I mean, you have a library at your fingertips of everything that you've ever done. How much fun did you have going into the archives with Jim and finding the stories?
He's a human
pictures?
Google.
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate when we started the project how invaluable that would be. He has been around since I started with Whitecaps in 1974. So when I'm telling him about things that went on in 1974, he's got concept. Oh yeah, I wrote a column about that. Yeah. So, and that to me, in his writing style, I think he is the best that we've ever had.
I just have to stop you for a second.
Oh yeah,
I realize we haven't addressed the fact that you're not clean shaven. You are partaking in November.
We're going to have to get a bit of a
Thank you for noticing, actually.
So that you've done this, has everybody at the Whitecaps embraced this?
Most of the guys in the office are going for it.
What about the players?
Not the players, actually. We haven't got
So you and the front office, you guys are Movembering, and
we're Movembering. Yes.
Have you ever had just a mustache before?
Yeah, 2 years ago I did the Movember thing. And didn't look very good.
And now you're about to go down and watch the MLS Cup final with all the other senior executives from the MLS teams, one of the best leagues in the world.
They're going to be, what's up with Bobby?
Yeah, I'm going to have to. And even now, when I'm meeting people, just in case they're not sure about Movember, I'm prompting and saying, hey, you know what? This is for a good cause. It's not like I'm trying to recapture the 70s.
You know what, though, interestingly, and we're getting away from the book, but interestingly, it's a great conversation piece because it raises that awareness right away, right? Like, this is a great fundraiser.
And for me, on a personal note, my dad died of prostate cancer, so there's a real personal commitment that I'm making to it, and the fact that the club is on board, and it's going to make for a lot of laughs over the course of the month.
Kidding. How many laughs did you and Jim have? Because I think it's always surprising to people.
Can we talk about the poster?
Well, just when you get to that stage, and you almost, I mean, you would forget certain things, right?
Not this.
Not that. Wow.
How much ribbon? Because I
got literally hammered.
Dude, you
had
had pleated jeans on.
They are pleated.
Now, I remember skipping out of school to get your autograph when this poster came out. I do Little Flower Academy. I got in big trouble. How much ribbing did you take from the team at that time?
A lot, and it was all a joke. Kent Kahlberg, our photographer at the time.
Sure, it was.
It was a joke.
Easy to say now.
No. He said to me, and at that time, and it's hard for people that don't have an idea of the popularity of the Whitecaps in the late 70s to understand that we were actually more popular than the Canucks at that time. And so that's why Kent thought, let's do a poster. And I'm thinking, okay, well, so
you and Farrah Fawcett, baby.
In fact, at the end of that year, there was who's hot and who's not. Farrah Fawcett was not, and I was hot.
Wow.
You're just missing a mustache
no idea.
But it's got to be fun to go back and revisit and remember the things that you almost forget. You know, you think of all these stories and a guy's name comes up and you realize, oh, I remember this time, and all this stuff would sort of
Fortunately for me, I have a photograph. I can remember goals from games in 1974. So it's
other people scored, or that you were involved in?
Other people as well, But it was an absolute hoot. And how we actually did it, to physically come together on a regular basis to to actually do the book would have been virtually impossible.
Yeah.
So what we did was 5 o'clock every day, I'd call him, half an hour, I'd just chat away, and then a year later, we had
the book
enough.
lands on your desk.
It goes. Yeah, we did meet on 2 occasions actually, but other than that, it was mostly done over the phone.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
What does your family think about the book and your history? And there's some pictures of the family in here, obviously. But what is it like for your family to have, your story out there? We're looking at the gorgeous pictures of you and your wife.
Yes, that was.
Who was the daughter of your general manager when you were playing at the Whitecaps
at the time? That's a great story, too.
There's a couple of great stories in there, and that is one of them. Can you maybe tell us about...
She was a hostess in 1974 with her sister.
Yeah, and for the Whitecaps.
For the Whitecaps, and we were definitively told, do not even approach these girls.
This is your boss's
But as somebody says that, those girls become far more interesting.
Yeah, she's gorgeous, but she becomes even more gorgeous.
So then, but the irony is, and I kid with my father-in-law now about this, and I say, you tried to stop us from seeing them, and not only did we see them, I married one, and one of my teammates married the other. So,
bravo.
Yeah, it was great.
Now, we have to go back and talk about the new BC Place. You're mentioning the golden age of the Whitecaps. It really feels like it's just had such a turnaround. It's back, and it's such good timing for this book to come out to talk about the fact that the Whitecaps are a big deal.
Well, and we have a history, and so...
That's a great thing. It gives a context to the history of soccer and professional soccer.
It does, and of course the 86ers in between the original Whitecaps and the current Whitecaps, and the renaissance, was what I call it, of the Whitecaps, in spite of the fact, and it killed me to be losing as many games, and it killed everyone on the technical staff. But the best part is we still had 20,000 plus people turning up, and an atmosphere, and of course you're a season ticket holder, and you're going to be coming...
I get to be Bobby's guest, so whatever.
Peter away from my section.
But the atmosphere at the games, I talk to people who haven't been to games and go and say, wow,
it's not like it's unlike any other sport. And that's you don't get that atmosphere at hockey games, at football games, anything else. The chanting, the singing,
and it's starting to spread from that Southsiders group. It's starting to make its way, and now you've got actually the whole stadium taking part in.
I was amazed how the atmosphere transferred because I think every person that went to a lot of games out at Empire Field was wondering how it was going to transfer, and it was even better in BC Place, which really sort of surprised me.
And it surprised me too. Of course, as we're getting close to moving into the building, and even way in advance, I'm saying, this second roof's fantastic. The seats right up
like that.
And I'm thinking, oh, please. And I had the same reaction. When I first walked in there, I thought, wow, they've actually done it. Yeah, and what it feels like, which is what we were trying to achieve, is it feels like you're playing in a 20,000 plus seat stadium with the It's
amazing the way they designed it and did everything. It's tremendous.
Well,
pick up this book.
This
is an excellent encapsulation not only of one man's passion for a beautiful game, but also a great history of soccer and professional soccer in our city, and a great way to
and support Movember.
Yeah,
it's a great cause. I can't wait to see how that thing grows. We're going to take a quick break.